Hey, welcome everyone to Father, Son, and Holy Football Weekly NFL Show. I'm G-Man, that there's T-Money. Coming to you live this time for our July 22 action-packed NFL show. Keeping you up to date and in the know around the NFL. Hey, every NFL player's back in the building, babies. We're working our way to Thursday, next Thursday. The first preseason game, can you believe it? The Lions and Chargers, Team Money, going at it.
Yep. Crazy. Crazy. I'm excited for some NFL football. It's almost August. Fantasy football drafts are getting scheduled. This thing, it's coming quicker than we think. Right around the corner, man. Just need it in my life.
Hey, give our fans some of your love, Team Money. We love that. We love that. Yeah, we're all excited here. Do us a favor, press the like and subscribe button. Help us continue to bring you the fun at Father Son every week. All right, Team Money. Well, hey, let's talk about your favorite team, the Bengals. Trey Hendrickson said in May he's not suiting up under his current contract. That's it, man. I just saw pictures of him down in Florida. He was sending pictures today from Florida saying, hope everybody's having fun. And
Yep.
what do you think's going on our Team Money? Should the Bengals trade Hendrickson?
Yeah, no, I've been saying this for a while. We have such short term. Oh, yeah,
Short
not sure
memory?
yeah, I'm sorry, my video cut out there real quick.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not exactly
You're looking
sure.
good. You're looking good.
Thank you. I'm not exactly sure why the Bengals have such a short term vision of this team. Like, Joe Burrow was a great player on his rookie contract, and we immediately have gone all in, all in, all in after he signed his big contract. That's when we need to be getting assets, getting younger, getting cheaper. We could have traded T. Higgins for multiple years for a first round pick. Multiple years. We could have done it again this offseason. Trey Hendrickson, we could have gotten probably a first from a team like Detroit. Might have been end of the first. You could have gotten maybe, the Rams going all in or someone like that, or maybe a younger team in the second round. I don't understand his value personally. I
Whoa.
get that he has had a lot of sacks, but it's very easy when our defense is so bad that we're always in shootouts, which means the other team is always passing. Okay. Last year on third downs, that's the biggest passing down in the league. The Bengals ranked 23rd. Okay, so bottom third of the league. Good to know. Our red zone defense, when we need a sack, a stop, we were ranked 30th. Okay, so again,
Not good.
one of the three worst teams in the league at that. Scoring defense, we were 25th. So I'm just trying to figure out his value here because I know the Cleveland Browns don't have the most dominant defense ever, but they have
The
Myles
Brown?
Garrett, and he is a game changer. Again, our passing defense, the Bengals passing defense, ranked 21st. That's where Trey Hendrickson should be making a difference. We ranked 21st in the league. So yes, he's getting sacks, but he's not making an impact on winning. And that's where I think his value is in trading him because I don't think our defense is going to get worse. If it does, we're used to shootouts. Joe Burrow's used to having to carry this team.
I
So
like
I
that.
think we have to trade Trey Hendrickson. And again,
But
ownership won't. And now they look bad and are hurting one of their most, substantial players in the locker room in Trey Hendrickson.
Hendrickson entering the final year of his contract. He's looking for a long-term deal because he's 30. He led the NFL in sacks, but T Money's right. He hasn't led his team to the title. He's not causing havoc back there, but he has had a lot of sacks. He's been one of the top there. Right now, he's paid number 14 of all the edge rushers, 14, averaging 21 million a year. And I think he wants Team Money, correct me if I'm wrong, something close to 30 million a year from
Yeah.
21. So not too bad. He's in that 30 million range, but I don't the Cincinnati Bengals said they've made him a couple offers and he's turned them down.
Yeah, I mean, he has supposedly said they've made atrocious lowball offers, which is not surprising from one of the cheapest owners in all of sports, Mike Brown. And again, I think he deserves to get paid, but on our defense, he is not a big enough difference maker to overcome how bad the rest of our defense is. We need
Yeah.
young players. We need assets. Paying a 30-year-old edge rusher is a long-term deal is not a smart move. Let someone else do that. Let the Commanders do that who have a quarterback on a rookie deal. Let someone else like the Texans do that where they have CJ Stroud on a rookie deal. We have two expensive receivers and a very expensive quarterback. We need to get smart. We need to get young, and we need to get as many draft picks as we can. And we have not done that. So I think this is, I understand Trey Anderson's position. I agree with him that we're cheap, but at the same time, we got to trade this guy, and we won't.
Well, Team Money's looking for the trade. I'll tell you the trade. I'll tell you the trade. I like Team Money. Well, of course, Lou Anarumo is at the Colts, so he uh, was maybe responsible for the success of Trey
Yeah,
Hendrickson.
yeah,
Now he moves over to the Colts as DC. Could that be a nice landing spot for Trey? You'd have to
yeah.
take draft picks with him. The reason I like this other team better is because you get a defensive end, you get an edge rusher. The Green Bay Packers. Green Bay Packers are not utilizing Lucas Van Ness. Lucas Van Ness is a younger guy, and he could fill the gap there made by Hendrickson, and they could get some picks. So maybe the Green Bay Packers could use
I
Trey
don't.
Hendrickson,
I
but they
love that.
also give up Lucas Van Ness.
Hey, I love that. I love that for
Okay,
both teams. That's a
yeah.
great pick. I like Green Bay. Just something like that. An up and comer who needs a veteran who can go out and get you 15 sacks a year. And on a team that has a competent defense, I like that for Green Bay. So, yeah, I agree with the G,
Okay.
but they won't do it. And he'll be pissed off all year. And the Bengals will be still a below average defense in the
Well,
NFL.
let's slide down to the AFC South. We talked a little about the AFC North. Let's go down to the South, where the Tennessee Titans didn't make the playoffs again, 3-14, but they got a new quarterback, T Money. They got a new quarterback, the number one pick in the draft. They wanted that one pick. They got
Yep.
Cam Ward, and everybody's excited down there in Nashville. Could they
Yeah.
possibly do something? What are you expecting out of Cam Ward?
Yeah, I mean, look, I think he can be pretty decent. I
Huh?
like Cam Ward a lot. I think he's got special gifts. He can be inaccurate at times, but he's a great thrower of the ball. He seems like he's a great leader. Yeah, he's obviously athletic. He carried an okay Miami team to a pretty good season. I think there's pretty low expectations, but Calvin Ridley's a solid receiver. They need to do a better job of surrounding him with some better weapons. Tony Pollard and Calvin Ridley aren't going to be the end all be all there, so they could do a better job at getting him some weapons. But look, the sky's only up here. Will Levis averaged 173 yards per game throwing the ball. I think Saquon was averaging more rushing during it. Will Levis was horrible. So, I think about what Jaden did last year, and that was somewhat unprecedented. 3,500 passing yards, 25 touchdowns. Was had the fourth best QBR in the league at 70. I don't know if that's attainable. He's not that guy. But I then look at someone I kind of see a little bit of, and that's Daniel Jones. Okay. I'm not saying he's Daniel Jones because Daniel Jones isn't a good quarterback. I'm saying he is the what Daniel Jones is right now, he is as a rookie. He is the peak of Daniel Jones is the
Could
worst that
be.
Cam Ward is ever going to be, right? I
Could
think
be.
Cam Ward's along the lines of that Josh Allen, Daniel Jones prototype. Daniel Jones had 3,000 passing yards and 24 touchdowns. He had another 300 yards rushing and two touchdowns rushing. I think something like that he could do. I think
Yeah.
3,000 passing yards, 20 something touchdowns. That's a great, great season, and you're headed in the right directions. Everyone loved Daniel Jones after his rookie year because of those numbers. He never did anything like that again. And so that's why I don't think he's a good football player, but that was a solid rookie season. And I think everyone would be pretty excited if he did something like that.
Yes, that's good. That's good. He may be similar to Daniel Jones. You might be right there, T Money. He does have a strong arm. He's accurate, but he's aggressive. He throws the ball down the field.
Yeah.
Fourth in the Heisman voting last year. Played from Miami, as everybody knows. The U, and the U's going to get another big player. Carson Beck has moved down to the U. Did you know that? So
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
down there now. So I just saw him talking today from down at the U. But 4,300 yards at the U, 39 touchdowns. The guy can throw the ball, but he does have turnover issues,
Yeah.
like your buddy Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. Their offensive line, I don't know, kind of questionable, thin, let's call it. Their receivers, as you said, they're okay. I mean, they're not really loading this thing up for him to be successful.
Yeah. That's
But
where I think he's hurting.
yeah.
He doesn't
So
have a lot of help.
hey, he's the only, here's a little tip, here's a little insight for you. The only rookie quarterback that is unquestioned week one starter
Yeah.
right now.
Very
It's Cam
interesting.
Ward. Cam Ward. So that puts him at the forefront, team money, of the rookie of the year, wouldn't you say?
Yes. Very good point. Very good point.
Yeah.
Like Ashton Denty has something to say about it.
Yes, yes. Hey, everybody. Do you want more entertaining father-son NFL camaraderie to keep your NFL going? Do us a favor, press the like and subscribe button. Help us continue to bring you the fun. And thanks to our show sponsor, Blue Tees Golf. Go to blueteesgolf.com, enter coupon code FSHS. Hey, get a 10% discount on your order. All right. So I want to move now to let's give the NFC some love here. Let's go to the NFC South. The NFC South, has been up for grabs every year, but somehow Tampa always comes out on top. Well, what about Carolina this year, T Money? Bryce Young, great finish to last year, but his play for the most part since he came to the NFL has been disappointing. T Money, is this a make or break year for Bryce Young?
100% a make or break year. They can
Yeah,
get off of his contract pretty easily after next year. He's only got a $12 million cap hit next year. So that's really not that much when you look at the amount that, other quarterbacks are getting cut for and dead cap hits for other, wide receivers and linemen and things like that aren't on teams. So this is a make or break year for Bryce Young. He had a great finish to the season last year. His last three games were all a passer rating over 100. Okay,
yep,
that's great. His QBR was 80, 60, and 94. He had a really, really good finish to the season, including in that last game of the season, a win, putting up 44 points in overtime with 250 yards and three touchdowns. So I like
yeah.
the direction he was headed. I think he needs to continue that momentum because to start the season, it wasn't that great. I mean, I was talking about Daniel Jones's rookie year, and we know Daniel Jones is no prolific passer. Bryce only had 2,400 passing yards last year. Daniel Jones in his rookie year had 3,000. So just putting that in perspective, Bryce threw 15 touchdowns last year. That's nothing. That is nothing. So I think, if he continues what he did in the second half of last
Yeah,
year, he's in a
right.
good spot. But I do think this legitimately could be Bryce Young's last year as a starting quarterback in the league if he doesn't put something together. So, luckily for him, he's cheap next year, so they may just keep him because Carolina's ownership's horrible. But this legitimately could be Bryce Young's last year. He better make it because if not, yes, he will break it.
Yeah, yeah, good point. I'm in line with you. I'm in line with your T Money, but let's tell our fans about CPOE. CPOE, completion percentage over expected. Put the person in the expected situation, whether it's third down and short, first down and long. Okay, put it in the situation. That matters more, CPOE, than just straight completion percentage. Do you know that in weeks 12 through 18 last year, Bryce Young ranked eighth in the league? He was also fifth in and deep throw rate, throwing the ball down the field, only behind
Impressive.
Josh Allen, Anthony Richardson, Lamar Jackson, Jordan Love, only ones that threw down the field like him. So impressive there if he can keep it going. Is he a
Yeah.
franchise quarterback? Well, that's what they drafted him to be. So look at comparison to Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence, also a first round pick. Do you know that Trevor Lawrence lost 22 games in his first 2 seasons, just like Young? And Trevor Lawrence, right now, T Money, is one of the highest paid quarterbacks in the NFL.
Yeah. Look, I get it, but
The
Trevor's
roadmap's there.
has shown flashes a lot more than Bryce has. Bryce could have been out of the league if he didn't have the last few games that he had at the end of the season last year. So, look, I'm not
He
sure
could
about
he could
Bryce.
transfer.
I don't think he's going to translate. I think he's too small.
Okay.
I think he's shorter than me, and I'm 5'10".
Oh,
He just looks so tiny out there, and I think that's going to be his problem forever. Yeah, someone could say, hey, look at Kyler Murray. That guy's dynamic, and he's a true athlete. He can scramble. He can move his feet. Bryce Young is a stationary guy. He's along the lines of a Drew Brees, more than he is a Kyler Murray. So I just
although
I,
he
I don't I don't see it moving forward for Bryce Young, unfortunately.
Well, if you look at fantasy team money, you look at Cam Ward versus Bryce Young. If you're in the late rounds of a single league QB, Bryce Young's probably the better pick than Cam Ward late because of his late season passing and his running. He ran at the end of the year, T Money gives him top 15 potential in fantasy, even with that Carolina offense.
Uh, yeah, I mean, you're right. He did have two rushing touchdowns on the last game, and he
Would
had
you take him over
four.
Cam Ward? Would you
I
take him
would
over
not.
Cam?
I would
Okay.
not. I would take Cam Ward just
Okay.
because of the upside. I think we kind of know what Bryce Young's going to be. Cam Ward could literally have a Jaden Daniels like season, an RG3 type season. That is the talent that he has. Bryce Young, I think he could be Kirk Cousins with that's fine. He might be QB 8, maybe at the best of his powers, but he'll probably end up being QB 15 at most. And so I'll take the
Hey,
upside of Cam Ward.
all right, all right. We'll see T Money. We'll see T Money. We'll see. All right, hey, let's go to the AFC West. Really thinks heating up in that AFC West with the Chiefs and the Chargers coming on and the Broncos coming on. All three of those teams 10 or more wins. And now we got the Raiders who look like they're starting to, get things going. What a battle in that AFC West. But I want to talk bigger than that because the Chiefs have their eye on the AFC title again, T Money.
Yep.
I'm going to give you a choice. You want the Chiefs to win the AFC title or the whole rest of the field? Which one you picking?
Man, this is crazy. Because a few years ago, I think we all would have said the AFC is so much more stacked than the NFC. We were all looking at like, man, are the Niners the only real competition in the NFC? And we're talking about it like, the Bills and the Ravens and the Bengals and all these teams are so stacked. And now I feel the complete opposite. And I do not see a threat to the Chiefs like outside of the Bills or the Ravens at all. You're not going to convince me that Bo Nix is going to go into Kansas City and win a playoff game. You're not going to convince me. I mean, like when you look down the odds to win right now, the Broncos, then the Texans, then the Steelers, then the Patriots. What Drake May's going to go into Arrowhead? No, and Geno Smith. I just don't see anybody here, and so I feel like you're really asking me. Do I think the Chargers will take a leap? No, Justin Herbert threw 4 interceptions in that playoffs last year. He was horrible. And so you're looking at the Bengals, the Bills, and the Ravens, and the Bengals can barely get to the playoffs because their defense is so bad. And the Ravens and Bills cannot beat Mahomes. And so I will not bet against Mahomes losing to one of those guys until he does. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but give me the Chiefs over the entire AFC field. I can't believe it, but it's true that
Hey,
they're unbeatable until someone beats them. And I'm not betting against the Lamar showing up or that Bills defense finally showing up. I don't think so. Arrowhead Invitational, that AFC title game that it always ends up at. I'll take Chiefs to win that one.
I love it. I love it. And since Mahomes become the starter, Kansas City has at least made the AFC title game every season. How about that?
Crazy. It's freaking
Every season
crazy.
they're in that AFC title game, but can they win it, Team Money? There's no,
Crazy.
I'm looking at the Ravens, okay? The Ravens, there's no excuses left. They averaged
No.
12 wins each of the past 3 seasons. They're loaded, but they can't win it in the playoffs. They can't do it in January. And
Yeah,
so Lamar Jackson has pressure, man. He's got big
I
time
agree.
pressure.
I
They could
agree.
do well in the regular season, and the pressure is going to be on him so much to win that playoff game. And I mean, the Bills can do it. They've been with the Chiefs all the way through the season in the regular seasons, and they can't beat the Chiefs in the playoffs. They
I
just
know.
can't get it done. So I'd like the Chiefs. I like the Bills. I like the Ravens. But Team Money, I can't go against this whole field here. Okay? Kansas City is not going to win this thing. You're going to give me the whole field. I'm taking the Ravens or Bills. And I even think these other teams, I'm going to read you the other, 5 other teams
No.
below those three that I think can also win the AFC, the Cincinnati Bengals. Nobody be surprised if the
I
Bengals
hope
win that.
so.
Okay, the Houston Texans. I think they can do it. Houston Texans could go in and win this thing. How about the Denver Broncos? Yes, I do think that they could win this. The
No way.
Chargers. Yes, the Chargers and the Steelers. Your buddy Aaron
Oh my
Rodgers.
God, Gary, don't
Your
bring
buddy
Aaron
Aaron
Rodgers and the
Rodgers.
Steelers. They won't
Aaron,
even make the
if
playoffs.
they go in and win that playoff
Oh
with Aaron
my
Rodgers,
God.
I will not be surprised.
One of the biggest chokers in NFL history, Aaron Rodgers. He's
He's
going to
won a
go in
Super
at
Bowl.
41. No way.
He's won a Super Bowl. He knows what it takes.
Oh my gosh.
Hey,
That is.
well, the
I like
Chiefs
the
are.
Raiders more than I like half these teams. I'll take the Raiders over the Steelers. Or.
Well, those are the teams. I'm going with those. I'm going with those. There's
All
eight
right,
teams that
that's
have a
fair.
shot, and I'm saying the 7 are going to beat. One of them is going to get ahead of the Chiefs and get in there.
All
But I'm
right.
not making my pick yet. I'm not making
Okay.
my pick yet. We're going to make our picks in a few weeks. I'm telling you how I see it right now.
Yes, of course.
All right, and the Chiefs got drilled by the Eagles. The Eagles defense destroyed. So the Chiefs
hmm
offense.
Murdered them.
So,
Yeah.
so I'm just going to call out to Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift, you going to get Travis Kelsey motivated this year? I just wonder, man. You going to do that, Taylor Swift? I'm just wondering. Hey, that's it for today's show. We hope you had fun hanging out with us. Father Son Football loves bringing you the NFL energy on behalf of Team Money. I'm G Man. See you next week.
Peace.